Graffiti Japan! Yeah, all the time I'm on business. I'm all about my business, but I ain't got no briefcase. Yeah, all I got's some whiskey. Open now the whiskey, bring it to you. Yeah, I'm leaning up against the door, and my feet set to the floor, and we're messing on go. Yeah, I've been in before. I'm a broken man, needing remedial lands. I'm all about my business. Let me love you till the morning. Let me love you till the morning, yeah.
What's up, feeders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of God Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny. And as you fine folks know, God Faded Japan is about, well, tonight, three dudes, booze, Japan, and the news. And this evening, Mark Jackson is the news, and we're here with our good friend and fellow fader, Scott, from the epic band Creepdown. Gentlemen, kampai.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
This is episode number 735, and before we get started, I gotta say, Scott, man, dude, you're looking sharp today, dude. Is that your new shirt?
That is.
You've got your new shirt, dude?
Finally, right? Of all these years.
Whoa, nice. Man, that looks dope.
Down. Yes. If you want the shirt, you can buy it.
Where can people get a shirt, dude? I want a shirt.
It's not up for sale yet, but...
It's not for sale?
Not for sale yet, but...
Tease!
Gonna make it there. It's a nice quality, too, man. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
The guy who did it. Okay.
Yeah, fellow fan, fellow friend, yeah.
The guy who...
Bishop and Bishop.
At the Art Tank, you introduced me to someone who makes t-shirts.
That's the guy, Bishop and Bishop, yeah.
Very good quality, guys. Yeah, very nice shirt. It fits nice. This is actually small on me, though.
That's a small?
Small, yeah.
You got a small?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got
smokes.
S, M, and L, but yeah. I didn't want to say S and M, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I only get S and M.
I have S and M.
I got an L S&M. All right, awesome. And Mark, you're here on the show because you do some amazing things here in Japan. I've been a fan of your work for a very long time. And basically, Faders, this guy, he creates and you create, you showcase, you book, you promote some of the best bands, events, and musical extravaganzas here in Tokyo.
Yeah, I guess more or less.
Well, no, I mean, no, your events are absolutely spectacular. Actually, when my sister came to Japan, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No. What was it? It was like maybe a year ago, actually.
Yeah.
When she came, we went to your event at Ruby Room, and that was the night that the Falling Doves performed.
Okay, yeah.
And my sister was absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
She goes, "How do you get to go to places like this?" I'm like, "Well, I know the organizer." She goes, "This is amazing. This is so much fun." She's dancing around. She got to meet everybody and stuff. And your events are epic, dude. I really, really enjoy your events. In fact, I've never been to an event of yours that was not exciting and fun. They're always great. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
So, could you tell us about your events?
I mean, I think you pretty much said it all already.
And that's a show!
No, when you do these events, do you only focus on Ruby Room, or do you have other...
Yeah, I used to be kind of all over the place, but after COVID, I kind of started to focus like pretty much on Ruby Room and the Berlin event, which is every Thursday. And the 11th anniversary is next week. So, but I used to do like the hangout in Koenji and stuff like that.
Do you plan on doing more of those events in the future? Now that COVID's kind of like...
Yeah, we've done several of the other events after COVID, but it's pretty hard to get back to where we were. And I don't know, I kind of feel like I'd rather than have my eggs in different baskets, kind of put them all in one, just because I'm in a different place than I was back then, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm up for it, but I have for example, Berlin I do with Niels. I'm pretty sure you've met Niels.
Yeah.
You've met Niels before. But yeah, lifelong great friends. So
Awesome.
I'm super happy to work with him. But with the other events, it's like it's different partners. So I just kind of told them like, well, you guys let me know when you want to do it, and then I'm up for it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to focus on Berlin because it's every week, and every week.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough, dude.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I've been there.
And I'm pretty tired today because I do have a day job, and that's I found one misconception about me. Many people said, "Oh, dude, I thought you're like a full-time party guy, party promoter." Like, no, I actually have a regular day job.
He's a doctor. Can you believe it? He's actually a surgeon.
Proctologist, but
he's worked on me twice. Good job, by the way.
Lots of things in your
It
ass.
still works. Works a little too well, actually.
Yes.
Do you know what my nickname is? No, I'm joking. Okay, all right. But yeah, you've got a day job, but I mean, pretty much your night job is also like a day job because you're working all the time. I mean, you've got your weekly, and then you've got a whole variety of other events.
Yeah.
I mean, the last event that I saw you at was actually an event that we both worked at, and that was the David Bowie night.
Yeah.
And then you did that with Mikey and London Calling, and that was a phenomenal show. Oh my God, people were dancing, and I mean, I left at like 3:00, and that place was packed. So that was great. And I mean, it seems like you are pretty much a person that never sleeps.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, I think it's a combination of wanting to stay busy because I want to do things. It also kind of keeps me out of trouble as well.
It gets me in trouble.
that too, but I think I don't know. But I think we're all more or less the same age, and that's like when ADHD and ADD came out, and I never wanted to believe in any of that back then, and I'm still questionable about it. But one time, a friend of mine was like, "Did you know that you exhibit all of the traits?" And it's like, I always want to do a lot of things, but then it's like I'm doing this, and then 5 minutes later I'm doing something else.
Right.
And I mean, I think it's actually. I see it as like a superpower rather than like any kind of disability. It helped me a lot in school. It's always helped me because I have like a lot of ideas, and I do like to chill though. Definitely need to chill, but at the same time, I guess it's something that comes like from inside, like from the heart. It's something I want to do. Something that I want to give back to the city, give back to the culture, give back to my friends even, sometimes people are like, well, you don't really make any money from this. I'm like, yeah, I don't. But all of my friends get to have a good time,
Right.
and that's gold, right? I mean, I can't
It's true.
really-
It's very true.
and I get to have fun too. I mean, like
Get some release,
Shredder, just played.
Oh my God,
1984, right?
Shredder 1983! I
Right.
had him on the podcast last week.
Right?
Yeah, that was
It's just
awesome.
like, this is okay. Another Satan reference, Hail Satan. But we were talking about Satanists earlier.
All right, let's not talk about
Let's not talk
Satanists
about
anymore.
anymore.
That was like a 2-hour conversation that I don't want to get back into. Yeah,
Right.
But
just a really cool artist and a really cool guy. And we actually went to karaoke the other night. And
oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Oh God, I was so busy. I couldn't
did
go.
sleep for a good portion of it. So.
Wow.
But at the same time, it's like, well, this is a cool artist that probably I would have to spend like 2,000 or 3,000 yen to see here in Japan or somewhere else. Could be, I don't know, like $30, $40. I don't really know what it would be in other countries, but
way more than that. When he performs in Europe, when he goes on his tours, I mean, the guy's toured like all over the world.
Right.
He makes money.
Yeah, he
I
does
mean,
great.
compared to what they do and how we make money in Japan, which is nothing. So
right, and actually that's a interesting thing because a lot of the bands that do contact us, I'd say like majority of them are they just want to play in Tokyo. And they're happy with that. But
Thank God.
Yeah, but there's a select few, and I'll say it's more with the DJs who are like, well, how much am I going to get paid? And it's like,
expect money. Yeah.
like you're not
this is a different culture.
Yeah, it's a different culture. It just works differently here, and that's good and bad, I guess. But
and the riders. Oh my god. Yes, I need like 10 free drinks, and I have 6 friends who are going to be on the guest list, and they need 10 free drinks too. And we're going to have a merch table. We want you to sell the merch, and we want to keep all the money, and you're going to have to take care of the taxes. I'm like, you know, the venue that I run only holds like maybe 10 people.
yeah, right.
It's small.
Yeah.
You can't even get in.
Well, they expect you to promote it and get people in there too, right? So
Yeah.
But yeah, I do try to like just tell them like, well, okay, it works a little bit differently here, but like we can, you know, we can figure out a system that works for all of us.
Yeah.
And you know, I think we all try to collaborate.
Can you tell us about maybe a bad situation that happened to you about a band trying to play from overseas?
I can.
I know you can. But
I can. I've got a couple of stories.
Yeah.
of course, you don't have to say the band name or anything, but it was like a bad experience. That you
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I honestly
they
with
suck. I'm just kidding.
with the bands, no, I felt bad because I had some DJs that came
Or DJs, sorry.
it was like when we were kind of still in COVID, but we had one of those times where it was between state of emergencies, and like people contacted me and they said, "Hey, I'm coming to Tokyo, and I want to DJ." I'm like, "Okay," like
It was the last spring. It's about a year ago.
yeah, and you know, I said, "Okay, of course you can play at our event, and I'll try to like connect you with other people. Maybe you can play other places." And you know, they played at the party, and it was okay. Because at that time, it was a lot of people were still on the fence. Like, should I go out? Should I not go out? And then, you know, we exchanged Instagram, and then later I saw what they do back home, right? Because I hadn't really checked. Like, maybe they emailed me or something, and they're playing like massive warehouses and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, I feel so bad, you know, because it's like, you know, maybe there were 20 or 30 people there, and maybe they thought it was something a little bit bigger, but I try to tell the bands and DJs before they come, like, look, this is not like a massive venue, at least with the Berlin, which is at Ruby Room, but you know, we do sometimes things at 7th floor, and 7th floor can
Hold many more people there.
250 easily, I think. The Koenji event that we used to do in Dome, Studio Dome in Koenji.
Yep.
It's tiny. I mean, all the rooms are pretty small. The rooftop's kind of spacious.
You can fit a lot of people in that rooftop.
And we did. Yeah, we filled a lot. And, you know, it's like, I'm still surprised that nobody died. Someone broke a leg.
Jeez.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Would they fall off the roof?
You know, those stairs are like super steep, right?
Yeah, it's like kind of like the Amsterdam stairs, so like a 90-degree angle.
Not like these stairs, but these stairs are dangerous too. But
well, you drink too much.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, faders, we're here at our sponsor, Gamuso. Okay, so we're at Gamuso. So this is the beautiful, amazing venue, nightclub, bar, Gamuso. So cheers, and Pee-wee, thank you very much for hosting us tonight. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Pee-wee. I'm supposed to say that at the beginning of the episode.
well, you can just edit it later.
I don't edit it.
I'm kidding.
Yo, what's up, faders? Got Faded Japan has got a new sponsor. Our new sponsor is Gamuso Bar, located in Asagaya, Tokyo. If you're kicking it in Tokyo and you want to get your groove on, get your fade on, you better get your ass down to Gamuso. Gamuso is located in Asagaya. It's about 11 minutes from Shinjuku Station on the Chuo line. Gamuso has weekly bands, weekly performances. And hell, if you got your own event and you want to hold it at Gamuso, we'd love to host you. So contact Gamuso at www.gamuso.com. That's www.gamuso.com. That's right, Gamuso has not only beers in the bottle, but beers on tap. We've got every drink you want, so come on down to Gamuso. Gamuso, and if I'm working, tip me.
Have your attention, please. Attention. Hey, yo, what's up, Vaders? Johnny here. You know I love booze and news, but I also love art. So come on down to thespiltink.com and check my art out. I've got tons of stuff there for you to check out. I've got paintings, I got prints, I got videos. And I tell you what, if you like a painting, I could probably sell it to you. And I tell you what, if I can't sell you that painting, I will definitely sell you a print. I've got prints of all my work. Prints are about 2,000 N each, about $20, but if you buy 2, you get the third one for free. So come on down to thespiltink.com. Yo, and on top of that, I'm looking for commissioned work. So if there's something that you want me to do, I can make it for you. Just check out my stuff and see if you like my style. And if you like my style, I can definitely paint you anything on canvas, paper, whatever. I've done it all. So come on down to thespiltink.com. That is THESPILTINK.com. Thespiltink.com. Proper.
I'd say like with that place though, I mean it was always at least 180 or 200 people, and the bands, the DJ, everyone loved it because there was nothing like that. There still isn't anything like that, and of course I want to bring it back now that I just moved to Nakano.
Is it still around?
Dome's still there, but the hangout is kind of like on the back burner. Like I said, I'm kind of just focusing on the Thursday events right now, but now that I live in Nakano, I'm actually equidistant to Koenji, so it's a 15-minute walk, so I definitely want to start doing more stuff in Nakano, in Koenji, in Asagaya, and because I've always liked Suginami, Nakano area.
This area is great.
This area is great for kind of small venues, but it's still a good area too.
Lots of great bands are located in this area too. Viawat's here,
right?
Viawat's here.
That it's actually kind of because when we moved, it was like 2 weeks ago that I moved, right? And it was kind of a gamble because we were looking for a place. The place is old. It's not exactly what we wanted, but in some ways it is. But on the way walking there to look at the place, I saw a friend of mine who I was just with last night, actually, like a DJ friend at a cafe, and I was like, oh, that's him, right? And then that later, after seeing the house, we went to go eat pizza, and Viawat walked by.
Yeah, did they really?
And I was like,
I love those guys.
We weren't like 100% sold yet. We hadn't actually said yes, but we were doing like a second check of the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, this is...
it's a sign.
It's a sign, right?
It's a sign. It's the universe saying, Mark, this is your home.
Right? I haven't looked back since then, but definitely there's so many different places, and I think a lot of the times when you create an environment, it might be small, but it's really fun and exciting. Then the bands are going to say it's fine, or the DJs even too, if they have a whole bunch of people just like,
It's all about the energy.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'd say the bad experiences were when I felt bad for not actually providing, but I don't think anyone has really been majorly disappointed, and we haven't had any like major huge problems or anything.
That's good.
I'm pretty I think about a lot of things in advance to make sure that we like troubleshoot and communicate pretty well, so that we electrical adapters, right? When you get someone from like Malaysia or
man,
I've had that problem when I went to Europe and I painted over there.
Right.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, shit, this is not going to work. And even the power wattage.
Right.
I hook up the black lights and they're flickering. I'm like, oh no, this is an issue.
It's definitely like a live and learn kind of thing, but over the years you get more and more experience. Like, okay, they're coming from this country, so I got to ask them, like, do they have adapters? What do they need? These kinds of things.
Yep.
But I'd say like majority of the bands and DJs are right here in Tokyo, so we don't have to worry too much about it. But there's always something, someone's like, oh, I need a projector, I need 3 mics, or I need 5 mics, or...
but that's never really a problem.
Yeah. When we had this band from Chile last September, it's like a 15-member band.
Okay, then it's a problem.
And they played it at 7
Usually.
It's just like, fuck, like, look,
we need a million microphones.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, whoa, we really maxed out that stage, and it was a great experience. There were people who were probably 65, 70 years old, and Niels brought his daughters at the time. I guess they were maybe 8 at the time, I think. And so they were just loving it, and people were dancing together. And it was just like, this is living, this is life, this is music, this is culture. But at the same time, we really needed to think about, can we fit 15 people? Do we have enough mics? And the sound engineer, the sound tech, we had to
Just had to really work at that.
Yeah, make sure because of course, especially if they have a certain instrument or a certain thing, they want it to be perfect, and we want them to give their best performance, right?
Right.
So you have to think about that. I guess a few times there've been a few mess ups where it's like, okay, we don't actually have what you need, especially at Ruby Room. The reason why we couldn't do the Chilean band at Ruby Room, the person who introduced me to them, I was like, we can't fit 15 people.
Barely fit 4.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, dude.
Right. I mean, it's just not really going to work logistically. Plus, I know a lot of people are going to come, so you can't fit 50 customers in there when there's also 15 members,
right?
Playing. So then I asked Agia Pollo at 7th floor, and then it worked out pretty well. There was a typhoon, kind of sucked, but still a lot of people made it out.
That's good.
But that's
a good learning experience as well. You get so many people, and you know what to do for the next time. There's 15 people. I'm just kidding. Right. That's unusual.
Definitely
Iron Maiden.
Yeah. When it comes to outdoor events, I'm very, very particular about that, because we also do, I work with some other people where we do kind of renegade DIY outdoor raves, not raving in a club like they say today, real raves. You just go in the middle of nowhere. You bring all the equipment, you bring everything, and you just party hard all night long.
You're organizing those?
I help with it, yeah.
Oh, God.
And that's the thing.
Logistics must be a nightmare. Just the power, the energy and stuff that goes involved. Involved. Oh,
we have
God.
2 generators, and but it's
only 2.
But with here, because I actually don't drive here, and that's one of the biggest obstacles I've had. So we have to find people.
Got a license? Call me up anytime.
Yeah,
I mean, not if you want to die.
Do you know where I'm from? Where I'm from, they invented cars. I delivered pizza.
Detroit, right?
Yeah, I delivered pizzas when I was in high school. All I did was drive.
Yeah, it's on the wrong side of the road, man.
But
no way.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
No. In that case, where was I going with that?
Because you have obstacles.
The obstacles is you can't drive, so you got to get people to drive the generators and the equipment and stuff like that, right?
The outdoor raves, meaning I can't. What were you talking about before that?
Are you at Harajuku with some out-of-town friends or your family or significant others? Yeah! Do you want to chill and drink beer and eat sandwiches while your friends overpay for glitter unicorn socks? Yeah!
And the flavor's gonna make you complete at Harry's Sandwich Company.
So come on down to Harry's Sandwich Company in the heart of Harajuku, right off Takeshita Street. See you there!
I'll take a beer.
Yeah, I'll take a beer.
I'll take a beer. Why not?
Yeah, we'll take a beer.
Is it 3 big ones?
3 big ones. Thank you, sir.
But yeah, I guess what I was trying to say is that
the logistics of having an outdoor event is way more complicated than having an indoor event.
That's what it is.
Just because it's a completely different animal. I mean, you do have the space, you can have a stage, but it's just you got to bring all the speakers out there, you got to bring all the wires out there, you got to make sure you have all the adapters, the drum kits, you got to make sure that you have the generators, you got to have backup generators, you got to have fuel for the generators, you got to have fucking fools that have driver's license that can drive trucks and stuff out there. And pretty much that's exactly what you're saying, right?
sober as well. Yeah.
Sober. Okay, now that's going to be your biggest obstacle.
Where I was going with that was like because of the typhoons, right?
Yeah.
Rainy season and typhoons, and I'm very, very, very hesitant to do outdoor events unless I know
if it's sunny. Yeah.
But then even then,
you don't even know.
The weather changes. I mean, dude, today's like almost like spring,
right?
Yeah. And like what last week it was snowing, so it's just like today was like pretty much. You go inside today and you see people in shorts. You know, the weather's absolutely bizarre in Tokyo these days.
Right.
When I came to Japan like 20 years ago, the weather was like there was 4 seasons.
Yeah.
4 seasons.
Right.
Now it's like kind of 3. You know. So it's
trees
really
are going to be blossoming any moment.
I got bit by a mosquito today. It was crazy.
Oh no!
Actually, there was a cockroach at my work.
A cockroach?
Yeah,
like, oh my god!
I've never seen a cockroach in February. I think
in the doctor's office.
Yeah. All right, gonna cross that off the thing.
What hospital is that?
I need a new doctor. Now, Mark, how did you get involved in all this madness here in Japan? How did you start promoting? I mean, it is not a fun job. It's a job where you lose a lot of money sometimes. There's a lot of stress. A lot of people wind up hating you and stuff because they're like, you know what, my set wasn't as good as this person's set, and it's all your fault, you know? And you get all this, like, there's so many things, at least for me, you know, there's like a lot of issues that you got to deal with. Overall, it's great, and I love to do it. But it's not as fun or rewarding as being the lead singer or the guitarist of a band. Or the DJ, right? The DJ always gets laid. Let's be honest.
He knows how to press a button.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Well, there's a certain button that you're supposed to push.
What I was trying to say.
You got a time pushing the button, Scott. It's like every 4 beats.
But you got to, you have to also jog the wheel a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, there's a volume too.
You have to put the USB in, and you
got to turn this knob up. Exactly.
It is kind of expensive. You do have to buy the iPhone.
Let's hope my wife doesn't see this podcast.
It's not going to be on YouTube.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is why we do the show at Gamuso.
I'll pay you later.
Free pints, right?
I'll be waiting.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers, kampai. Kampai to Gamuso.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, baby.
Cheers, guys.
So why do you do this madness? I do it for the love of it. And I've been doing it since I was in high school.
Yeah, I guess it's the same. We all grew up, I think, in the late 70s, early 80s. But
this guy's like 18.
Where are you from originally?
I'm 80s, but I was born in New York.
New York, okay.
And raised in Arizona.
Brooklyn! Not me, this guy.
Life was fun, I think. I don't know about you guys, but probably,
Actually, let's go back to where are you from then?
I grew up in Southern California.
Southern California, in San Diego.
Behind the orange curtain.
Behind.
I was technically born in Burbank, which is like, the San Fernando Valley, where a bunch of porn was made.
I was just going to say that, but I didn't want to insult you. I was like,
Born in the San Fernando Valley in 1979. That just spells porn, right? But
and that's what you grew up in your lifestyle.
I mean, I think, but I don't know about you guys, but things were a lot freer. They would just say, "Go out and play."
You came home when the sun went down,
right? Like you go home by yourself after school and you spend hours alone doing whatever you want, burning G.I. Joes or whatever.
Oh, I did that. The Muscle Men?
Yeah, right.
We used to pour gasoline on them. Oh, my God. Oh, dude, all my G.I. Joes. Oh, dude, I had the F-16. We put gasoline on it. We set it on fire, throw it off our fucking roof.
Right.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I'm actually surprised we never got kidnapped.
I almost got kidnapped, dude. Yeah.
I almost got kidnapped.
Yeah, but it's a different story, though.
Yeah, there was like the story of Adam. That was like the big one in LA.
Actually, California had a lot of stalkers and kidnappers.
Right. The night I remember.
Night Stalker, yeah.
One of my early young memories, because my mom was like one of those people that was really into like, you know, crime dramas and stuff like
Wait,
that.
way back then?
Yeah,
That was a
so
thing?
we drove past the house
Murder, She Wrote?
where he killed somebody in Mission Viejo, where I grew up.
Well, you take like a break
Right.
from the
I
house
know
or
where that
something.
is.
And yeah, I mean, I clearly remember driving by the house and the yellow tape being around it and just being like, fuck.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, like, fast forward maybe 10 years, like one of my lifelong friends, his ex-girlfriend was living like 2 doors down from that house. And I didn't really figure it out till later. I was like, wait, I'm going to actually find out where it was in Mission Viejo. It's like, it's on the same street as, and we used to hang out there.
Jeez. That's
But
scary.
I think, and I think Stranger Things really, when I watched that, I felt like that was my life. I mean, I really felt a strong connection to it because it was all about adventure. Like, we're just gonna go to some creek,
Ride bikes.
right? I remember
Creek shoes. Remember creek shoes?
Yeah, just,
you gotta have like a different pair of shoes that you wear in the creek or whatever. Because like,
Right.
there's gonna be broken glass in the water. You know? Yeah.
And so I guess like I was attracted to adventure and fun, and then in high school I started doing some
Crazy shit. We'll leave it at that.
like
Crazy shit. Yeah.
like when I moved to Germany. I was like, before that I was like, oh, I'll have a little drink, maybe some pina colada, some red wine. And then I moved to Germany and it just completely changed everything. And then after that I became a drinker.
Yeah, so you started drinking hardcore in Germany.
Yeah.
I think most people do. In fact, in
right.
Germany, kids drink when they're babies. In fact, I think it comes out of the uterus. It's just booze.
Normal. Just kidding.
Normal.
Normal in Germany.
But yeah, when I was in high school, there was this like epic party. We had a Halloween party at my house, and I was in basically kind of like a black metal band at the time.
Were you really?
Yeah, and
What did you play in it?
bass, and I know I had my hair long. About 2 years ago, I think I cut it.
I remember when you had long hair.
But before that, I pretty much my whole life before coming to Japan, about 13 years, I had long hair. When I came to Japan a week later after I came here, I just cut it off, and then I decided to grow it long again, cut it again. But so we set up the band in my kitchen, and there was a mosh pit in my den, and then someone went through the wall. We had a massive hole in the wall.
Wow.
Your parents really were hippies.
At that
My
time,
parents were hippies too, but I mean, if your mom came home from a Halloween party, she's like, Mark, what is this? And you're like, I don't know, Mom, hail Satan.
yeah, pretty much. But
My dad would have thrown me through the other wall.
yeah, I had a good amount of independence at a young age. At that time, basically, I had free reign of the house. It was like absent parents, basically. So it was a really fun time, very depressing time at the same time, which I didn't realize until probably 10 years later. Like, yeah, I was really fucking depressed. I didn't really realize it at the time. And again, that's something like going back to the ADHD. I didn't really believe in depression and stuff like that until, again, when you read about it and you're like, well, shit, yeah, I did that. Probably I was, feeling a little bit bad, right? But it all comes back to music, right? Because music is your only friend. They quote the Doors.
Well, it keeps you level.
Yeah, it really was like my life savior. It helped me focus on things. It helped me deal with my own emotions, and I've always had a really strong connection to music. So, basically, why not, as an adult, do the things that you wanted to do as a teenager? Like, yeah, when I'm old, I'm just gonna party and listen to music, and yeah, basically, I'm still doing that. I have a full-time job. I have a healthy relationship. Everything's good, but I can also immerse myself in the music, have fun, and not just me, but share it with other people, right?
That's awesome, man. That's really cool.
It's not to make money or anything. It's just let's keep the culture alive, especially when we're facing like the death of rock and roll, basically, the death of live bands. DJ culture is a little bit out of control, and then now the specter of AI is coming. Like it's like
that's
so.
I want to talk about that because the thing is, like, they say it's the death of rock and roll, but with the death of rock and roll, that means the underground is going to become. I mean, right now the underground in Tokyo, Faders. If you don't know, the underground music scene here is absolutely explosive. It's very electric. And the thing is, people like Mark, me, Justin, and a few other guys and stuff are keeping this culture alive. And actually, we're actually fueling the fire, right? And the thing is, it's just like, like if the mainstream of rock and roll dies, that's actually a good thing because that means like the underground bands are going to be even more wild, more crazy, more insane. And that means we're going to be the ones that are just going to be like, kind of like, we're going to be like building that, you know?
Yeah,
I think that's important. I think that's actually really cool. I mean, if like, for example, let's say like rock and roll was like super popular, right? And everybody was in a rock and roll band and stuff, you know. And if I had an event, you had an event, it's all going to be kind of similar, you know.
Yeah.
It's all going to be kind of like lame, not lame, but it's going to be kind of like, you know, like the hair metal in the 80s. Remember hair metal in the 80s?
Yeah.
There's like a million different hair metal bands, and every single week there's a one-hit wonder of like a hair metal band, right?
We call it butt rock.
Butt rock, yeah. But what was the difference between like Cinderella and Winger and all these other bands? I don't know.
Well, Winger talked about the 17-year-old girls, so that might be the difference. But
okay, pedophilia. But okay.
Which is funny. I didn't realize until,
she's only 17.
Right? But if you go back to Beavis and Butthead, I didn't have this epiphany until much later. Like the guy that, like the one kid, I don't remember his name, but
Kissy or something.
Yeah, they used to make fun of him, and he always wore a Winger shirt.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, that it's not a coincidence. That had to be, and they're already calling out that kind of thing way back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, now
but to be
rock
fair,
is like,
at that time, I guess things were a lot more fluid. You know,
well, people were doing drugs, so
that. But I mean, like, you know, when you
they had really bad haircuts.
think about like all those stories of like the groupies in the 60s and 70s, it was just that was the culture, and that's why it's so hard to, you know, judge the past by our like our
Didn't
current
Ringo
thing, right?
Starr have a song like that? Like, I'm 15, or she's 15, I'm happy, let's get it on, or something like that. I don't know, I might be paraphrasing.
I don't think that's Ringo Starr.
No, I'm pretty sure.
He did have another song though, which was one of our favorites as children.
Well, we all probably listened to our parents' music, right?
I didn't like my parents' music when I was a kid. Fuck no.
I mean, like,
no, my parents.
I didn't like it, but I liked it.
No. I like. All right, when I was growing up and stuff, my parents were hippies, and so basically, the Beatles, the Doors, and all that stuff. I didn't like it because I listened to it so much when I was a kid. But then when I got older, then I was like, oh shit, this stuff is great.
I was the same. Man.
And so now, now I totally appreciate the Beatles. I think the Beatles are awesome. I completely respect them. I mean, the world needed the Beatles at that time, right? But do I listen to the Beatles now? No. Do I listen to the Doors? Every so often. I listen. I go through waves of music and stuff, but the thing is, it's just like, I do like that stuff now. But when I was a kid, I mean, nobody likes their parents' music when you're a kid, you know?
Yes and no, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some songs that you like, kind of. What about you? Growing up, what kind of influence?
But you had really cool parents, though. I mean, your mom was friends with Alice Cooper.
Well, she wrote for Rolling Stone magazine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so that's a little different, you know?
I don't know, but she had... I don't know.
My parents were like, hey, Johnny, just give Peace a chance. I'm like, fuck Peace, man! I like Black Flag and Twisted Sister!
Yeah, we were more of the rock and roll kind of style, but...
Yeah.
What about you? What kind of influenced you to do music or like even be interested in music? You know what I mean?
Actually, one of the bands we did a cover of Six Pack from Black Flag.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, just because I mean it's super easy.
Black Flag was.
Well, everything's easy with bass.
Yeah, but also with punk, right? But it was like kind of like our warm up song, and just because we always, you know, we liked our hard metal, but we also liked punk and everything, you know. We spanned the spectrum. But I think that's the other thing too, is I grew up in a musical environment. I just wrote something recently where, you know, I can remember some of my earliest memories are like dancing to Michael Jackson's Thriller. Prince was always on the radio. MTV was 1983, I think, when it started, more or less.
Like that, right?
But
the video killed the radio star.
Yeah, right.
That was kind of rough.
So basically, I was pretty young, but I remember just watching MTV all the time, and it was a great time. And so again, music's always been an important part of my life, and I want to experience. I want to share it with others, but also for the artists, who have something to say, and they want to express themselves. I also want to give them the chance to do that, and so that's why I've always kept pretty open. Basically, the only rules is more or less no mainstream stuff, and otherwise everything is pretty much okay.
No Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hate on that, but it's
Not
just,
that she came to your club. I'm just kidding.
it's I want it to be an outlet where people can be free. I mean, when I was DJing 10 years ago, people would come up and be, you can't play that, you can't do that. You have to play EDM. And I was like, I'm not going to play EDM. Sorry for EDM lovers, but I don't know if you remember, but 10 years ago, it was everywhere you went, you could not escape it.
I remember EDM.
And again, everything is good, but what happens, I guess, in Tokyo or maybe in kind of commercial capitalist places where a lot of it's based on money, they just keep repeating the same song. I mean, if you went out to a club 10 years ago or 9 years ago or something, you'd hear Party Rock 3 times in the same club 3 times a night, right?
Yeah.
Party Rock.
And every single bar that you went to.
Yeah,
Right.
and you can't
Every
get
single bar.
away from it. And
If you went to the Hub, you'd hear it all night long.
right? And so, when, for example, when we started the Hangout, for example, which was after Berlin, I was with Phil. Probably you guys know Phil,
Everybody knows Phil. Phil's awesome.
right? And we were just fuck that. We want to be able to play as DJs used to be, play to the crowd. Right?
Yep.
I see this guy, I know what he likes. I see this girl, I know what's going to make her ass shake, or vice versa. Actually, to be fair, I actually would usually look okay, I know this guy is going to go nuts if I play this song, right? It's just kind of looking who's there and seeing what the people want.
Yeah.
And not just completely going and playing pop music because that's what makes people jump, but try to find things that get people to move. It's a lot like sex. You find that
You got to find the G spot.
you find that angle, and then you work with that, but you also can't just do that for 5 hours. You have to be well, let's transition to this, right? There are other
Well, you got to be careful when you transition
other
to
orifices, other
That was a
places,
myth.
No, the G spot's real.
And so we wanted to, because he's a music lover, I'm a music lover, and our DJ sets are never really the same, and we play everything from here to here, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why when we started the Hangout, which is similar to Berlin, it's you can play whatever you want. If you want to play Balkan beats, play it. If you want to play old school hip hop, play it. I mean, just basically try to read the crowd, and real experienced DJs know how to do that, and they want to do that.
Yep.
They're I got this vinyl, I can't wait to play it.
Yep.
And they don't want to be told that they can only play EDM or only play hip hop or only play. And so it's a little bit of both. We've always done DJing stuff and band stuff, and as being a little bit in bands, but also DJing now for, I don't know, over 12, 13 years or something like that. It's I don't really do it that much these days, just because I don't know.
You do it enough. Quite often you perform. I mean...
Yeah, but again, I just want to do...
It's quite common for me to go online and to see that you're performing somewhere.
I think now we're in the wave of techno, and that's great, but at the same time it's whoa, where did this come from, and how did it become so mainstream, and
Steve Aoki.
now you can't get away from it.
Steve Aoki was just in Japan, and now there's techno everywhere, dude. I was just at fucking Starbucks, and it was like, and I'm like, wait a second, I've never heard at Starbucks before. Usually it's like really lame, like fucking like cafe music, but it's just like Steve Aoki was here like 3 weeks ago, and ever since then, all I hear is techno in Tokyo. Okay. By the way, his performance was absolutely amazing. I saw some of the videos, and actually Bishop and Bishop did all the T-shirts for them and stuff. And I talked to the president of Bishop and Bishop, and oh my god, dude, what a performance!
I wouldn't even consider him techno, or at least my definition of techno, but definitely you're correct. You will go anywhere now, and it's everywhere, and I love it. At the same time, I hate it because it's kind of like what happened with grunge music, right? It was like the people who really liked it and really felt a connection to it, and that was our thing, right? We were like teenagers, and and then suddenly there's all, like you said, all these like knockoff bands, and then all the record companies got into it, and how can we like squeeze this for money, and then suddenly you have all these bands in the mid to late 90s. It's just like, what the fuck is this, right? And that was our thing, and I don't know, like I feel like that, like basically the saturation and the commercialization of it.
But also music comes in cycles.
It does.
It really does. It's like rock music, and then boy bands,
right?
Or like then you got the techno, and then it's like and pop. I don't know. It's like, just a cycle.
The event tonight, like there's live the one I'm going to work at later.
Yeah.
It's like live modular.
I love the module stuff. I really love.
They have all these machines. I have no idea even what their names are. And
wires are all over the place, and they're unplugging them and stuff.
And they're building the sound as it goes, and it's so cool. And I mean, a lot of
somebody gets electrocuted.
There's acid techno. There's different things like that.
Acid techno. Oh my god, that stuff is back.
Yeah, but,
oh my god,
but it's really cool just to watch how they do it, but also it sounds cool, and though I'd say that they're real artists. They're not just pushing one button; like they're actually making beats as they go, layering them, looping them.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right,
that's good.
And I think that should be applauded and supported, and not just this kind of like. This kind of thing, right?
I mean, the whole, the douchey. Like, all right, I DJ'd. I think I started DJing when I was 18 years old, and then I stopped DJing when I was 32 years old. And the only reason why I stopped is because like the technology changed. It's just like nobody bought records anymore. Like, and I would go to a club and they wouldn't even have turntables anymore. Right. So I was just like, fuck this, dude. Because for me, DJing, I worked at Amoeba Records in San Francisco, right? Nice. And the thing is just like for me, DJing, part of it was like digging for gems and finding records, and just like spending the time every week going out there and finding records and buying white labels and dub plates and stuff, and just, going to clubs and getting mixtapes and mix CDs and stuff and hearing people's mixes and stuff and hearing mixes where people fucked up, right? Somebody would give you a mixtape or a mix CD, and then there'd be a slight train wreck in there, and you catch it and you're like, you fucked up. But I loved it because it was real, raw. Real. And then going to a club and stuff and seeing like Frankie Knuckles or Frankie Bones or Terry Mullen or Jeff Mills, and they're up there, they're performing and shit, and they're playing with records, and then they slip and there's a slight train wreck a little bit, or like maybe something's off, and all the DJs catch it. They're like, oh shit, he just fucked up. Oh shit, did you hear that? Oh, Jeff Mills, you suck, But these days, dude, everything is so digital, so perfect, so pre-done. So it's just like, it's just like you got girls taking off their shirts with their titties bouncing around, DJing and shit, or girls like dancing, whatever, pushing a button. I mean, Paris Hilton was a DJ for the longest time, right? And it's just like, DJ, really? I mean, EDM. There you go. It's just like anybody and everybody can do it, and then it gets watered down. It sucks, and then everybody goes to the next thing. That's what happened to grunge. That's what happened to techno, and so on. But with like the whole like module thing, you can't fake that.
It takes years of practice and just learning how to use the machines and tons of money.
And I respect that.
So that's why it's still, and even you could say that with like live music these days, because very few people have spent the time to learn their instruments.
To play the guitar, yeah.
Right? I mean, you can't just pick it up and play.
Unless it's a bass.
Right. Yeah. But, you know,
so 4 strings, right?
That's the thing is like, it puts it back into the corner of artistry where you have to be dedicated and you have to have of course natural talent,
it's human
hard work,
it's human error, human touch, you know. That's all. That's what makes it great.
But yeah, like the guy who plays every week at Berlin every Thursday, Benji, his DJ name is Sojourner, and he just does the same thing. He just goes and digs every, I don't know, a few times a week, and he comes and he just brings like a big bag of vinyl. Nice. It's just great. It's just so cool to watch him. Cool. He's so into it, and he's like, you can feel him. His whole body is like a part of the music, and
it is. You're touching the actual music when you touch vinyl.
It's like there's no like digital thing. Like you really have to know the beat and
right.
You
have to be a musician
it.
to do that.
Right,
you got to really know your records when you start DJing and stuff. And then, but the beautiful thing about DJing with records is you're actually touching the music, because the music is pushed into the wax, right? So you're actually touching the real music. So what you're pushing on that turntable is going out to the speakers, which is making people dance.
Mitsuya Liquors. Yo, what's up, faders? If you're in Asia, if you're in Japan, if you're in Tokyo, if you're in Asagaya, you better get down to Mitsuya Liquors. That's right, for the most affordable prices in Japan, you can get over 300 different kinds of beer. That's right, over 300 different kinds of beer. And of course, they got all the shochu you need, all the sake you need, and of course, they got wine from California to Italy to France to New Zealand. They got it all. When I say they got it all, they really, seriously got it all. There's no joke about that. So get down to Mitsuya Liquors. And if you go in there and you say, got fit in Japan, you will be more than welcome to go into their back room and drink those beers that you just purchased. That's right, got fit in Japan at Mitsuya Liquors. And 3 times a week, they have a sushi chef there. So get your sushi on, get your drink on, get your fade on, and come on down to Mitsuya Liquors, located comfortably in Asagaya, about 5-minute walk from the station. Mitsuya Liquors.
In Tokyo and craving soul food? We've got just the place for you. Soul Food House in Azabu-Juban. Check out what we do at soulfoodhouse.com. Come by and taste the love. We look forward to feeding you.
Your events are supporting so many different kinds of artists. Like tonight you're doing module stuff. Like 2 months ago we did the David Bowie thing. Like there's like so many events that you're doing. You're supporting so many different kinds of artists that are producing so many different kinds of music. I mean, going from like as you said, I thought it was Brazilian or Argentina music. You had like 15
Chilean
people.
folk,
Chilean music. You did something like that, and then you had that Falling Doves. You have like which is like a American Los Angeles kind of like 80s rock kind of stuff, whatever. You're like all across the board. You're just building up so many different kinds of music and stuff, dude. You're doing God's work.
Did you do the Yeti Valhalla?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay,
so, because
Yeti Valhalla.
And at the same time as I love all that music, I think that there's again a lot of misconceptions. I guess when you're, I don't want to say I'm a public figure, but like when you stay in one place for a good amount of time and you put yourself out there, you meet a lot of people and people have ideas about you.
I know.
You're known.
And so it's like, basically, I've had people come up to me at a metal show and I'm playing like Carcass, and they're like, dude, like, I didn't know you could do this. I'm like, I grew up on this shit, right? And then vice versa, like, I'll be playing some house or techno and people are like, dude, I thought you were like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can do this too. I like this stuff for quite a while now. Definitely I was more rock-based when I was younger, but, there was a lot of electronic music for sure in the 80s and 90s, which is kind of like crossover, like 9 Inch Nails, for example, right?
Oh,
so like,
9 Inch Nails.
Actually, I played 9 Inch Nails here at Gamuso about 10 years ago when some party, right? So, it's kind of like that crossover, right?
Nothing changed either.
But, Where were we going with that? I don't remember.
It's okay. The booze are kicking in. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so now let me ask you a question. So, what are you working on now?
Berlin.
What is the future?
Myself.
Oh, are we doing yoga?
No, I mean, personally, my relationships, my new house. I don't
You have a
own it.
house?
I don't actually own it. I'm just renting, but I think at this point in my life, because I'm not really sure if I'm staying here forever, and probably I'll be dead by the time the mortgage is finished. So it's
You
kind of
do
like,
have a house.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I really want to buy something right now, right?
Got it.
With the
So-
earthquakes that we're having these days, probably not a good idea.
You should buy in the beach.
But yeah, I'd say, I mean, I'm still doing what I'm doing every Thursday. That's always going to be there.
Awesome.
For the foreseeable
Berlin.
future. And I mean,
Ruby
again,
Room.
like, you know, Niels and I, we started, it's a funny story because it's a French guy, an American guy who made a party called Berlin in Tokyo where we served authentic Mexican tacos. And, you know, people are like, what? Like, what is it? But
What is this?
It's like one of those jokes, like a rabbi, a Catholic
Right.
priest, and then a homeless guy walk into a bar.
but it was what Tokyo needed at the time. I mean, if you remember, if you were in Shibuya, you know, 11, 12 years ago, how many places could you get a burrito or a taco? And if you could get it, would it be actually good?
Good.
And then if you did find something good, how much did you have to pay to get it, right?
A lot.
You know, and growing up in Southern California, it's like, well, yeah, and I grow chili peppers.
Do you
I
really?
make my own tortillas, you know, so it's like, you know, it's so that's something that I wanted to bring. At the same time, when I met Niels, he just had this same kind of passion for life and music, and he's just a super hard worker, and he's very creative. I don't know if you saw the flyer he made. He like spent months, and actually, I want to maybe at the next Art Tank or something try to get a space where we can display all the stuff that he's done, because it's like,
Oh my god, dude, everything's already taken, dude. Don't even talk
I mean, not
about
the
Tokyo
next
Art
one,
Tank.
but like
there's so
at some
many
point
artists
in
that
the
are working
future.
with
But I mean,
yeah.
like, this guy is amazing.
Okay,
and
let's
because
talk
not only
about it.
about the detail and the art and everything, it's every single part of the flyer has some kind of inside joke or something that happened at the parties over the last 11 years. You know, and then like puts actual like characters that come to the parties, and it's like it's so detail oriented, and that needs to be celebrated and displayed as well.
Okay, well, let's definitely talk about that, man. So, I got a question. How can bands contact you? So let's say that, I mean, there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast, right? There's a lot of like people that are interested in music and people that are in bands or starting bands and stuff. And eventually they want to come to Japan, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but like in the future, they want to come to Japan and they want to perform anywhere, or they want to perform everywhere. How do they contact you? How do they like get your information?
Well, yeah, it could be bands or DJs, and
Or DJs.
I'm open to everything. Again, as long as
Dancers, strippers. Strippers
yeah,
okay,
no,
right?
I mean everything is okay, but
Pole
like I
dancers.
just want it. You know, I want to focus on the quality and not the money or the commercialism or anything like that. So you know, we're open to a wide variety of styles, and basically, people can message me directly on Facebook. Mark Jackson, pretty common name. You probably won't find me.
Mark Jackson,
But,
Tokyo, Japan.
We can find you.
Yeah, but
Mr. Mark Jackson.
a little bit easier would be the main Instagram I'm using is what's the handle? Berlin Party Tokyo. So I think that's
It's probably
pretty
better,
easy
right?
to find.
Okay, cool.
Also,
I'll put all that in the show
even
notes.
just message at Ruby Room as well. I can probably get that. But yeah, probably Berlin Party Tokyo would be the easiest way. And we have a website where you can email on the website, or you can just directly message us on Instagram. And yeah, the funny thing about Instagram is I didn't start using Instagram until basically after COVID, more or less. I just was using Facebook, and I was pretty new to it about 2 years ago. Like, wow, how do you use this? And
Right, yeah.
we didn't really start doing the Berlin Instagram until a little bit over a year ago. I think it was like summer of 2022, something like that, where we like actually started doing it. And yeah, within basically a year, it's like over 1,000 followers in a year.
It's good.
So I think that's good. But then, because sometimes people are like, well, you're here for 11 years. How come you only have 1,000 followers?
I
like
hate that.
Yeah, it's like, well, but
I
we
hate
just
that.
started doing it, right?
Oh, it's like a
And-
young kids platform too, Instagram.
right?
Yeah.
All
And
the
I-
young kids.
It's quality,
And I call young
not
kids 20s.
quantity.
Yeah.
All right. Some of those people are bots and stuff. When you have like, I mean, I had one friend that had like 15,000 followers on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Satanism.
And let's just say
Yeah.
most of them were fake,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'd say
So
like
it's just like, I mean, who cares if
not-
there's 15,000
it's not
or two?
organic.
If there's 1,000 people that really, really love what you're doing,
yeah.
that is cool.
Yeah.
But if there's like 10,000 or 20,000 people that aren't even real people,
Yeah.
who cares?
Well, you make a post and like you have one comment.
Yeah.
You know, and
or one like.
2 likes and there's like 1,000.
Like,
10,000
that doesn't make
people on
any
your-
sense.
Then you know.
Yeah, but definitely these days, I'm not really even checking Facebook as much as I used to, and I'm not using it for event promotion really.
You really should.
Once in a while, I'll put some posts, but I almost never make event pages anymore, because if you make an event page, the 8-click going, 22-click interested.
No, but so many people see it.
Yeah, but
They see it and they know of it.
Yes and no.
But I've done like a little bit of both, and it's like 100 people still come. So if I make that Facebook page or not, it doesn't really seem to really change it.
But you got to pay for that too, right?
But
Facebook, no, only if you do ads.
yeah, but when you look, like, imagine if you see an event on Facebook and there's 9 going and 16 interested.
It looks bad.
It looks bad, but it's
Right.
like, no, but actually,
There's not going to be 100 people. Trust me.
there are easily 150 people there, because we have the receipts, we have the numbers, we have everything, right? So whereas before COVID, Facebook was like the go-to thing for Tokyo.
Eventing.
Oh, yeah, in Japan,
Everybody
yeah.
was using it as an event thing,
Yeah.
and just somehow it faded off. And but I'd say
Well, everybody
a lot
went to TikTok.
yeah, and I think in general, because Facebook changed a lot of their policies, and there's a lot of ads and stuff. So I
Dude,
think
Instagram's going to be the next that gets faded out. Because
No, it's
Instagram,
already happening,
Dude,
yeah.
I look at my Instagram and every third post
Yeah.
is like a sponsor of like a pizza.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, Instagram, I love those pizza little videos that you send me and stuff. I look at it, like the pizza porn. I'm just like, oh my God, that pizza looks so good. But still, it's just like, I mean, this is something that's a sponsorship
Yeah.
that's on my feed,
Right.
So, yeah, I think right now, China's got it set up straight, I mean, I think TikTok is definitely the way to go, because, I mean,
I've never even used it.
I
so-
know.
you never used it?
Yeah, I
Dude, I use
should start,
everything,
but, like,
man. I'm all over the board.
Twitter is like completely gone for me, but I don't know. I don't even.
Yeah,
use
I've never
Yeah,
used
dude,
Twitter
yeah,
either.
well, X now. What about like Threads? Do you guys use Threads? Everybody uses Threads,
Just a-
but nobody like clicks. Like
Just another thing, man.
yeah, I don't know. Is it? I think the one thing that you can really depend upon is direct messages, like actual emails. Having like an email list of your real fans and then contacting them directly, which I do not do, but I should.
We should just go back to MySpace.
Yeah, that was
Before
fun.
the whole MySpace music thing, you're right. It was kind of
But
good.
I do like how Instagram.
What about
is-
flyers?
Because basically it's just digital flyers. Like, you don't know how many people are going, you don't know who's going to be there, and I think that's much better. Whereas people would tell me, like, sometimes, oh, I don't want to go to the event because it only has 39 people going. It doesn't look big.
I don't like half these people.
Or like people
You can
say,
actually
oh,
see the
actually,
people who's coming.
yeah, my ex is going to be there. These kinds of
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
Where
that's
it's like
the worst.
Instagram brings it back to how it was for us back in the day, where you'd go to a show, there'd be a bunch of flyers, you would get it, you would talk to people, and it was very organic, and you end up at this other place. And I wanted to create that culture as well, where it's like
Flyers, man. Old school flyers,
like
paper.
People know that if they come on Thursday, there's going to be good stuff, and they're going to meet other people, and that's how it works. You know.
You mean like a consistent event that happens every single Thursday, so when people come there, they know what to expect, and then from there, then they can explore other events because there's going to be flyers there.
Not even flyers. They just talk to people. Like
Just
I
word of
can't
mouth.
tell you
Word of mouth,
how
okay.
many bands have
Nothing
started
more
because
important
of our
than word of
events. People have been married because of our events. Everything's happened,
And divorced.
Yeah, right. And it's not
My
saying
condolences.
me or
Children
our
were
events
born,
only.
children were terminated, everything happened.
It's a culture when you build that. People have it in every city around the world. There are people just like us doing the same things, right? Yeah. So it's like, you create a culture where, again, it's about people who can share their art, their projects. They can talk, they can network, and basically build a scene, right? Which is, Seattle didn't just happen. It happened because everyone's contributing
Everyone
to it,
was,
right?
like, connected.
And some people are kind of copying a little bit here and there, but generally it happened because people were all kind of putting in.
Seattle was a very special place and a very special time.
Right, or
I
like
mean,
San Francisco back in the day, right?
Yeah.
New York, of course. Like, there's been so many scenes there, right?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how that happened. But anyway, Mark, I want to say thank you very much for being here on the show of Got Faded Japan. One more time.
We gotta finish. Yeah.
We gotta finish. Yeah, I know. We're getting the X right now.
I didn't
already
answer
dragged.
your
Time's up.
question
Yeah,
about
we're already kind of
Germany, but
wasted.
I'll tell you off camera. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So, one more time, very quickly, can you plug your events that you have going on right now? What are they and where are they?
Well, okay, the next thing is next Thursday, February 22nd. It's our 11th anniversary of the Berlin party, and that will be at Ruby Room, and it's going to be a good time for sure. So many bands and DJs that you definitely want to see. And then, every Thursday it's the same. I mean, it's always a good time. Always different things going on. The other events that I do, I'm not going to mention just because we don't have time, but we're all connected. Basically, if you meet me or one of my friends, or even us, like it's all connected, right?
Absolutely.
Hopefully that people will try to collaborate and help each other rather than try to like throw each other on the bus or.
There's none of that really here in Tokyo. We're like.
There is.
Is
or
there?
there's just slightly like not mentioning.
So we can go on for another 20 minutes, right, Mr. Saito? Saito-san, another 20 minutes, right? So tell me about it. Who's this throwing me under the bus?
But
I gotta know who's driving that bus. Who's driving the bus?
It's gonna happen in any scene. When you have, especially when money is involved, it becomes very sticky, right? But sorry, us as men, we tend to carry egos, and I think that sometimes that gets in the way of like our
I think the
actual
art
goal,
business,
right?
Well, the art business is way more competitive than the music business.
Yeah, right. I mean,
when it comes to organizing galleries and gallery exhibitions, whatever.
I don't even know, man.
That is way more competitive compared to like the music business. The music business is a piece of cake.
Well,
you don't
comedians,
think so?
Comedians, I think, are more.
Really, the comedians?
Comedians on top, art, and then.
Oh my god! Oh, I don't even know. I have no connection. Well, I know a lot of comedians and stuff, but I don't know about like organizing.
Yeah.
Do you organize comedic events?
Not really, no.
No, I was thinking about it,
Can't
but
we
it's just
all
like.
just get along?
Wait, is that a bit?
I think that would benefit everybody, and I think for anything. I mean, whether it's when you're talking about sustainability or anything, just think about your community. Yeah. Think about the people around you, and don't like try to. Don't do like fucked up things.
Don't fuck anybody up. Well, see, the thing is for me...
And think that, your actions will affect other people.
Yeah, that's true.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Exactly. Don't throw the plastic on the street, and that's kind of a given in Japan, but in other countries... But when you see foreigners and tourists come here, right? They're just like,
I see some fucked up tourists today. Yeah.
Shibuya is so dirty these days, right? And it wasn't really
I find
like
myself
that. But
picking up that trash myself.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man.
But,
I saw some crazy shit today. I'll tell you guys off the camera. But,
Sorry.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up. We got
I gotta go to work.
You gotta go to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark,
Proctology, anybody?
Yeah.
dude. First off,
Gotta plug some holes.
What? Oh God, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Mark, I really want to say thank you again for coming here and being on Got Faded Japan.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for such a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm so dead serious, dude. Your events are so much fun. They're so exciting. Everybody loves your events. Nobody talks shit about you or your events, by the way. So when we were talking about that, it's kind of weird because the thing is, everybody loves Berlin. Everybody loves the David Bowie events.
Yeah.
Everything that you've ever been involved with has always been gold. I mean, my sister loved your event. She had so much fun. She was dancing around. She met the Falling Doves and stuff. It was a great event. It was so much fun. And I love going to events and seeing you.
It's the performers, the artists that are really, we all work together. Like I'll help, make sure that everything runs smoothly. Everything is going to be fun.
You do a great job at that.
They're the real entertainment.
You really do.
Right. You do
And just keeping it going. And all I can say is, two things basically. Like think about your life, like live your life, and don't take things for granted, right? I mean, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's right.
So
typhoons,
or worse, right? And try to live a little bit more, I guess. Sometimes people are like, well, it's a weekday. Well, don't live your life where it's only 2 days a week where you go out and have fun and do stuff. And
exactly.
Don't take for granted that you have these amazing performers right there. You should go and see what they're doing and help support them, whether it's giving them tips or buying their merchandise or whatever. I mean, I think that's
always buy merch.
Right, I think that's
always buy
really
merch.
important.
Always support the bands. Buy a CD, buy a shirt, buy a towel, buy whatever they have and stuff.
The only way they make money.
Just a little bit of something, just anything. If you buy something, it really helps them out.
And
so
I mean, it comes down. I mean, people have always asked, well, why don't you do a party on weekends? Well, we've done parties for years on weekends, but Tokyo doesn't need another weekend party. There are a million events on a Friday and Saturday.
Tell me about it.
That's why 11 years ago it's like that's and because in Germany Thursday is like a really big party night, so that was like one of the stipulations. I wanted to be a Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And but try to where is it going with that? I forgot already, but just try to
live your life and be happy and
I mean, it doesn't have to be only Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Like, it doesn't have to be only
every
the weekend.
Day.
You can go out during the week, and also
just don't become an alcoholic.
Don't do that.
Just support everything. You create a culture and a scene, and that's why people are like, oh yeah, like Berlin is so fun, or oh, this city,
Berlin
New York,
is fun.
New York used to be, like, oh, because
I think Tokyo, to be honest, all right, God, I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
I think Tokyo is the new New York from the early 1980s, late 1970s.
The new Bangkok.
Definitely cleaner. Yeah, Bangkok.
New Bangkok, but...
No, but there's a lot going on here, and your events are absolutely killer. Mark Jackson, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. It's fucking amazing having you here. Scott, fucking, dude, thank you for coming out.
It's always for you guys.
Always awesome, man. And also, faders, I just want to say thank you very much for tuning in, and if you want to support Got Faded Japan, you can definitely go to iTunes, rate us a 5-star review, go to YouTube, we're on YouTube right now, watch us, rate a comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and just Google Got Faded Japan and tell a friend. That's awesome. And when you come to Japan, or if you're planning on coming to Japan, look up Berlin, go into the show notes right here. All Mark's stuff is going to be there. Scott, your t-shirts are eventually going to be available for sale. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I hope so, because your t-shirts are absolutely spectacular. I want to buy one, and faders, you should buy one too. Support these guys, because these guys are awesome. And once again, before we leave, I want to say thank you very much, Gamuso, for hosting us tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great night, and get faded. Peace.
My little brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
I've got a government job to abuse and a lonely wife to fuck.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
God, the pressure! I can't take it! I can't take it! I can't to it!
You sure I
Excuse me?
We're going drinking! We came, we saw, we kicked his ass.
Your move, creep.
Oh, man. I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up repugnant shit.
Suicide, it's just suicide.
Ah, fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.